What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today is Wednesday, which of course means it's time for another New York Wednesday here on the channel. And the beer I'm reviewing today once again comes from the Other Half Brewing Company, and they are headquartered in Brooklyn, New York, and this is their Emerald Glow. So this is a double dry hopped Imperial IPA that comes in at 8% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review. This can is approximately 2.5 weeks old. Now, on my channel, I have reviewed around 2,100 beers, and just over 100 of those beers have come from Other Half, which means the percentage of beers on my channel that I have reviewed from Other Half is around 5%. And that is insane. However, it's even crazier when I tell you that in the past year, I have not reviewed a single beer from Other Half. The last beer I reviewed from Other Half was back in early May of 2023. So we're going on almost 13 months of no reviews from Other Half. Now, I reviewed, I think, 3 or 4 beers that were collaboration beers between Other Half and other breweries. However, all of those beers were brewed at the other brewery's facility. So I have not had a true Other Half beer that I've reviewed on the channel in the past year, which is insane to me. It's just absolutely insane. So I was like, you know what? Long overdue. We'll feature them again on New York Wednesday because it's been a hot minute. And I will pick up a relatively new release that's fresh and a beer that I've never had before. So I picked up this one. This is their Emerald Glow. Never had it before. This one is brewed with Motueka, Citra, and Idaho 7. They have a little spiel that hopefully I'll remember to read at the end. But I looked at the hop bill and I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Like Motueka, maybe not as much as Dan over at FLX Beer Reviews. I love Citra. Idaho 7 can be hit or miss, but when it's done well, I fucking love it. So I thought I would grab this one, and we're going to give it a pour and give it a review and see what we got going on. So the reason why I haven't reviewed a lot of Other Half over the past year, honestly, is I felt like, obviously reviewing 5%, or 5% of the beers on my channel being from Other Half was a bit ridiculous. I went really hard on Other Half beers in the early going of my channel. There was a point where I was reviewing like an Other Half beer every single Monday. It was kind of absurd. So I went to the other end of the spectrum where I'm like, I'm not going to drink any Other Half stuff. So I'm going to mix them in, going forward every couple months probably, because I love Other Half, one of my favorite breweries. But sometimes when you're reviewing so many beers from one brewery, everybody gets a little burned out, including the viewers. And I just, I kind of put them on the back burner. And now we're back. And another reason is Other Half releases so many fucking beers. They do so many collabs, so many special releases that I can't keep up anymore. A lot of people will be like, get your hands on this or this or this or that. And I'm just like, dude, there's so many fucking beers in general, let alone just from Other Half. So anyway, that looks beautiful. That looks like Other Half juice. Has that like honey orange color, about 1.5 fingers, almost 2 fingers of this incredibly creamy, soft looking head, off-white, murky turbid. You can't see through it. Hold it up to the light. Yeah, it looks fucking like Other Half haze because it is. Let's get a nose. It's appropriate that this label is green with the emeralds and whatnot because I'm getting this nice green kind of herbaceous tomato stalk walking through a forest kind of greenness. Like it's very fresh, outdoorsy kind of nose. Almost like a little bit of like a cedar or something in the nose. But underneath that, Motueka, definitely lime. I'm getting more of like a lemon lime. Big citrus and stone fruit qualities. Orange, peach, mango, apricot. And then there's this nice, and I don't get this a lot. When I say pineapple a lot of times, especially if there's Galaxy in a beer, no Galaxy here, right? Idaho 7 sometimes produces pineapple for me. And what I get typically with the Idaho 7 or some specific hops like Galaxy, I'll say crushed pineapple, right? Like the Dole crushed pineapple in the can. This smells, however, like freshly chopped up, like you just chopped up a fresh pineapple, you just cut it up, and you're going in for a piece of fresh, like ripened pineapple. That's kind of what the nose is. Ripened, fresh pineapple. Oh yeah, for sure. Maybe a little bit of like a passion fruit. Even a touch of a white grape. There's no Nelson, but a little bit of like a grapey kind of nose. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I probably needed the break from Other Half just because of the sheer amount of beers I was drinking from them. But when it comes to haze, they're one of my favorite breweries. When it comes to beers in general, one of my favorite breweries. I reviewed a shit ton of their hop forward offerings over the years because I loved what they do, and I still do. And I'm glad I picked this one up because it's smelling absolutely divine. 2.5 weeks old, so fresh in the nose. It's vibrant, sting in the nostrils, but with great characteristics. Yeah, it smells awesome. Let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. Oh yeah. Really nice. Not my favorite other half or anything off that first sip, but this is kind of the other half haze that I've kind of been missing. So I always find a lot of other half beers, they're hazy beers, to be sweet. Not all of them are like overly sweet, but like the oat cream IPAs can definitely be sweet. While this is sweet, it's not overbearing. And I'll tell you right now, while there isn't like a substantial bitterness, this one finishes full on dry, big dryness. Let's go body mouthfeel. So a couple things. This is incredibly thin for another half beer, believe it or not. I'm kind of surprised. This drink's like medium, maybe a touch under medium body, and it's 8%. There have been probably maybe a handful of beers from other half where I'm like, the body's thin, right? They're usually pretty spot on when it comes to bodies. This being 8%, if I was drinking this blind, I might say it's approaching a double IPA because of the flavors and maybe even the mouthfeel, but the body, I would guess like 6.5, 7. It definitely has a lighter feel to it. Again, lower side of like medium body. It's not like watery per se, but it just, it's definitely not like a big, thick 8%. Like I did a couple Feiden's beers that were 8.5 recently, and those were like lower side of full into like medium full. This is like not that. The mouthfeel though is, and I used to say this all the time in other half reviews, it's another half mouthfeel. And then a couple people were like, what the fuck does that mean? Please expound on that or expand on it. And I would always say, okay, I have to. What I mean by another half mouthfeel is a lot of times I would say that for the oat cream, where they're using a little bit of lactose and a lot of like flaked oats. They're probably still using a lot of flaked oats in here. I would assume they would say if they're using lactose, it would be an oat cream IPA. This has just an incredibly soft, this is like mild to moderately carbonated, smooth and creamy mouthfeel. Like it's a fucking fantastic mouthfeel. Is it like the best mouthfeel I've ever had? No, but it's like, it's exactly in the realm of what I expect out of another half beer. The taste, everything in the nose pretty much carried over. However, it's kind of different in how it carried over. Like I'm getting the citrus I was getting in the nose at the forefront. However, it's more of like a candied citrus, like a candied orange, candied like lemon, lime, grapefruit, kind of like if you had a bag of like high chews or Starburst that are more, in that like citrus realm. That's like a lemon and orange Starburst. I think they have grapefruit ones, kind of like right. This is what I'm getting out of this beer. If you were to take some Starburst and throw them in the glass, sure, makes sense. As it passes through, touch of that stone fruit, peach, and apricot. What I'm getting midway through the palate to like 2/3 of the way through the palate is, again, that ripened pineapple. Like it just has a very robust, ripened, authentic, fresh pineapple. I have to think that's the Idaho 7 because it's really, really nice. And then finish, I get this nice green, herbaceous, kind of floral aspect. I mentioned tomato stalk in the nose, or like walking through a forest. Just has a fresh greenness to it. Not like a green astringency, not a hop burn. There is absolutely zero hop burn from this beer in this glass that I'm drinking right now. It just has a freshness to it that you can tell, okay, it's very fresh. And again, this finish is almost bone dry. Like it's firmly dry with a mild to moderate bitterness. I would say this is actually quite balanced. And after the first couple sips, I was like, but as I keep on drinking out, there is this like slightly lingering bitterness with that firm dryness. So I've said this now, over the past couple years, talking about when it comes to haze, I want beers that are very balanced. Yes, give me all the fruit, juicy, sweet, candied, citrus, tropical, and stone fruit. But on the finish, I need something to balance that out, whether it's a firm dryness, a moderate bitterness, something. And I think the firm dryness in conjunction with that mild to moderate bitterness is doing enough to kind of stop this from being too sweet. Just a well-executed, tasty other half beer. 8%. No, not even getting, like maybe a very slight warming in the chest, nothing on the palate. So if I was doing this blind, because it hides the alcohol so well, I would probably guess around like 7, maybe like 7.5, but definitely in that like 7 realm, I would probably guess, because the body is thin, and then you throw in the fact that I can't even taste the alcohol in here. It's pretty amazing from the aspect. But is this my favorite other half beer? No, it's not even close. However, for the first true authentic other half beer that I'm reviewing on the channel in over a year, I'm happy I picked this one up. I was looking at the beers they released, and I was like, man, I like the fact that it's Motueka, Citra and Idaho 7. Let's give it a go. And here we are. So Emerald Glow from Other Half, I'm going to give this a straight 4.25 out of 5. It's a really nice haze. If the body was a little bit better, I'd probably go high 4.25 into low 4.5. It hides the alcohol well. I could pretty much taste each one of those hops specifically. The mouthfeel is fantastic. It's just good haze. It's Other Half. That's what they do. So Emerald Glow gets a 4.25 out of 5. Good score, good beer. I'm going to drink the rest of that and have no complaints. They do have a spiel, like I said here, on the side. They have, I like their labels. They've come a long way. They list the hops, Motueka, Citra, Idaho 7, the ABV, and then on the side they have like a blurb. It says, an Imperial IPA brewed with a hand-selected blend of hops giving notes of complex sweet citrus. I guess that's where I was saying kind of like the candy citrus. Lychee. No, I did not get lychee in there, but if you do, sure. And deep pineapple. They fucking nailed that. I would have never said deep pineapple probably in a million tries, but I may have said robust, so kind of in that same realm. The pineapple character in this is very substantial, and again, it's authentic. And again, it's like pineapple from a hop, not like true pineapple. Shout out to Kyle over at No Hype Beer Reviews, who's mentioned that before. Like when we talk about actual fruit in beer, it's not like fruit that you actually eat, but like it's true. It's a good analogy to say, hey, this tastes like pineapple, but it's pineapple in beer form and hop form. It's a bit different. Anyway, price point availability on this one, $20 4-pack, like many of their double IPAs. I paid $5.50 for the can, so right in that realm. Good or bad, to each their own. I think it's fine. That's the market nowadays. So paying $5 for a can, $5.50 for a can, that's fine. And availability, Other Half, you go to their website, they ship to a shitload of different states. They have locations, the OG location, Brooklyn. They have another one in New York City. They have one in East Bloomfield, which is the FLX region. That's where this one was brewed and canned. One here in Buffalo, New York. They have one in Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., Chicago. They're all over the place. So if you want Other Half stuff, you can get the vast majority of their stuff. When they do the special like anniversary releases or collaborations or Freaky Fridays and things like that, they sell those out pretty quickly, and not all the locations typically get them. But if you want Other Half nowadays, very easy to get compared to, say, 5 years ago when everybody was trading from them, very hard to get. They make great beer. They're basically almost shelfy beers now here in the Buffalo, New York area and the West New York area in general. You can get them at Wegmans grocery stores in four packs. They even have like your mix your own 4-pack for $19.99. They'll have a bunch of singles from Other Half. It's crazy because when I was waiting in line at the FLX location back in I think it was 2018, 2019, I never in a million years would have thought they'd be just in a Wegmans grocery stores. I could go and get my groceries for the week and then get a 4-pack of Other Half. That's absurd to me in the best way possible. So if you've had this one before, post in the comment section and let me know what you thought about it. I think it's really good. And like I said, I'm going to try to review more Other Half going forward. I know a lot of you like Other Half. A lot of you found my channel because of Other Half. And the fact that I haven't reviewed a lot from them in the past year and a half, that's on me. We're going to fix that. So appreciate it. To the next one. Cheers.